Over the course of a single night in June 2025, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a massive air campaign that redefined the balance of power in the region. Nearly 200 Israeli warplanes, including F-35 stealth fighters, F-15 strike aircraft, and F-16 multi-role jets, swept across Iranian skies, targeting nuclear infrastructure and air defenses with precision. The result was a decisive demonstration of technological superiority. Iran's Air Force, built around aging F-4 Phantoms and F-14 Tomcats, was unable to mount an effective response. According to Israeli sources, none of its jets were lost during the operation. This raises a critical question. How did Israel's modern fleet so thoroughly outclass Iran's defenses? At the heart of Israel's unprecedented success was the F-35 Adir, a fighter that changed the rules of air combat. Developed as a customized version of the American F-35, the Adir brought together stealth, advanced sensors, and Israeli-designed systems to create a platform uniquely suited for hostile environments. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a transformation, turning the jet into a tool that could slip through the world's most sophisticated air defenses. Iran's airspace is among the most heavily defended in the region. Over the years, Iran invested billions in Russian-made S-300 systems and its own Bavar 373, a surface-to-air missile platform with an effective range of up to 450 kilometers. These systems are designed to track and intercept modern aircraft at long distances, making any direct assault a daunting prospect. Yet, during Operation Rising Lion, the F-35 Adir's radar-evading design made it exceptionally difficult for these defenses to track, even as the jets operated deep within Iranian territory. The key to this success wasn't just the aircraft's physical stealth. The Adir was equipped with electronic countermeasures, pods, and decoys, allowing it to jam and confuse enemy radar operators. Rather than absorbing signals, these systems actively interfered with radar detection, making it nearly impossible for Iranian crews to distinguish real threats from false signals. This technological edge was critical in the opening hours of the operation, when Israeli stealth fighters targeted Bavar 373 phased array radar installations, crippling early warning defenses as the first phase of Operation Rising Lion. Beyond stealth and jamming, the F-35I's integrated AI and real-time data links provided Israeli pilots with unmatched situational awareness. The jets could identify radar sites, missile batteries, and communication hubs in real time, and then prioritize targets for immediate destruction. This precision targeting was demonstrated in strikes against facilities like the uranium-to-metal conversion center in Isfahan, where hardened structures were destroyed with pinpoint accuracy, using advanced munitions such as the GBU-53B Stormbreaker. Operational range was another decisive factor. While highly capable, F-35s were supported by aerial refueling tankers to reach deep Iranian targets, a logistical feat that extended their reach far beyond what was previously possible. This support allowed Israeli pilots to focus on their objectives rather than the complexities of mid-air refueling under threat, ensuring that the F-35I could strike at the heart of Iran's most protected sites. The F-35J's role extended beyond simply striking targets. In the first hours, its mission was to blind and disrupt Iran's air defense network. By neutralizing key radar and command centers, the Adir created a freedom of action zone for the rest of Israel's fleet. This approach, modeled after modern combat doctrine, meant that subsequent waves of F-15s and F-16s could operate at safer altitudes and distances, facing little resistance as they carried out follow-up attacks. The operation's success was not the result of a single aircraft type, but of a coordinated, multi-layered strategy. While the F-35I Adir opened the door, more than 200 additional warplanes, including F-15s, F-16s, and reconnaissance UAVs, followed to exploit the breach. Precision-guided munitions, electronic warfare, and real-time intelligence all came together in a campaign that set a new standard for modern air warfare. This level of integration and synchronization, involving so many aircraft and advanced systems, required meticulous planning and flawless execution. Coordinated power was the defining feature of Israel's air campaign, an approach that relied on a complex interplay of planning, intelligence, and precise execution. Operation Rising Lion brought together nearly 200 warplanes, each assigned a distinct role. F-35I stealth fighters for infiltration and radar suppression, F-15 for heavy strike missions, and F-16 as versatile multi-role platforms. Simulations ran for months before the launch, and flight paths were carefully plotted across Jordan and Iraq to minimize detection and maximize effectiveness. The logistical challenge of moving so many aircraft over 1,000 miles into hostile territory demanded not just technological superiority, but a seamless integration of every moving part. Preparation was exhaustive. Israeli planners scrutinized every detail: fuel requirements, contingency routes, and the specific mix of munitions for each mission. The arsenal included the ROX air-to-surface missile, the Blue Arrow supersonic missile, and the long-range LORA ballistic missile. These advanced weapons enabled Israeli pilots to strike from standoff distances, reducing their exposure to Iranian air defenses while maintaining the accuracy needed for critical targets. Every piece of the operation served a purpose, with each aircraft and munition selected to fit into a broader strategic puzzle. The campaign unfolded in 3 coordinated phases, each building on the momentum of the last. Phase 1 targeted Iran's radar and surface-to-air missile, SAM sites, aiming to blind and cripple the country's early warning network. Reconnaissance UAVs penetrated deep into Iranian airspace, relaying real-time data on radar positions. F-15s deployed electromagnetic bombs and decoys to disrupt command centers, while F-35s used their stealth advantage to approach and destroy high-priority radars. Within minutes, F-35s and support jets knocked out more than 40 key sites around Tehran, from radar stations to IRGC command centers, leaving large portions of Iran's defenses uncoordinated. Phase 2 shifted focus to Iran's offensive missile and drone bases. Using intelligence gathered from satellites and UAVs, Israeli forces timed their strikes to coincide with the confusion generated by the initial assault. Ballistic and hypersonic missile launch sites were systematically targeted, limiting Iran's ability to retaliate. This phase was not just about destroying weapons stockpiles. It was about dismantling the infrastructure and command systems that controlled Iran's offensive reach. The third phase targeted logistics and command hubs, including military production facilities, barracks, and communication centers, such as the Qadiri Barracks and Hassan Khan Castle. By this stage, Israeli air superiority was so complete that even non-stealth aircraft could operate with minimal risk. Real-time satellite guidance allowed for precision strikes on moving and hardened targets, further degrading Iran's ability to coordinate a response. Underlying every phase was a robust intelligence platform, developed over years of surveillance and analysis. Israeli operatives mapped Iran's air defense network in detail, identifying weak points and timing strikes to maximize confusion. Some radar sites were hit before the main attack began, catching Iran's defenders off guard and ensuring that the first wave of jets encountered minimal resistance. By the end of the operation, Iran's air defense and command structure had been systematically dismantled, and its ability to coordinate a meaningful response was gone. The campaign revealed the impact of modern air power when combined with careful strategy and advanced technology. But the outcome also underscored a deeper issue, one that went beyond radar sites and missile bases. As the dust settled, it became clear that Iran's air force itself faced challenges that no amount of planning or coordination could overcome. Iran's air force entered Operation Rising Lion with a fleet that struggled to meet the demands of modern warfare. The core of its inventory centers on around 64 F-4 Phantom jets, aircraft introduced in the 1960s and now well past their prime. Despite efforts to upgrade these planes with new avionics and weapons, their radar and electronic warfare systems remain outdated. Against Israel's F-35I Adir, which can locate and engage targets while remaining nearly invisible, the Phantoms had little hope of mounting a credible defense. Their sensors were simply not designed to track or counter stealth aircraft, making them effectively obsolete on a 21st century battlefield. The F-14 Tomcat, once a symbol of US air superiority, now faces similar limitations in Iranian service. About 40 of these jets remain, but decades of use and isolation from American support have taken a heavy toll. Without US support since 1979, many F-14 Tomcats have been cannibalized for parts, leaving only a handful airworthy. The remaining operational Tomcats lack modern radar and missile systems, making them poorly equipped to face advanced adversaries. In a confrontation with Israeli F-35s, or even upgraded F-15s and F-16s, the F-14's once formidable capabilities fall short. About 30 older MiG-29s, many degraded by poor maintenance, also remained grounded during the assault. Originally intended to rival Western fighters like the F-16, these Russian-built jets now lag behind in both technology and reliability. Many suffer from outdated weapons systems and lack the advanced targeting and sensor fusion found in Israeli aircraft. In a modern engagement, a MiG-29 would likely struggle to detect, let alone intercept, a stealthy or electronically sophisticated opponent before being targeted itself. Sanctions restricted training and spare parts, leaving pilots with fewer flight hours and a poorly integrated air defense network that couldn't coordinate against the Israeli onslaught. The result was an air force that, on paper, appeared sizable but in practice was unable to respond. During the campaign, no significant sorties were launched to intercept the incoming Israeli waves. Most of Iran's fleet remained grounded, likely to avoid near-certain destruction by precision-guided munitions and advanced air-to-air missiles. Israel's tactical approach exploited every one of these weaknesses. While the F-35's stealth and electronic warfare capabilities alone tilted the balance, the coordinated use of F-15s and F-16s ensured that any attempt by Iran to deploy interceptors would have been quickly neutralized. Israeli jets operated from standoff distances, using advanced missiles and real-time intelligence to strike with little warning. Even if Iran had managed to scramble its aircraft, the mismatch in technology and training left little chance for a successful counterattack. The silence from Iran's air force during Operation Rising Lion was more than a tactical failure. It was a reflection of deeper structural issues. Years of sanctions, limited modernization, and reliance on aging platforms have left Iran's air capabilities vulnerable when faced with a technologically advanced adversary. The campaign highlighted how quickly an outdated force can be overwhelmed by precision, speed, and integration. This confrontation was not just a lesson in technological disparity. It underscored the importance of strategy, timing, and careful execution in shaping outcomes on the modern battlefield. This campaign's outcome highlights the reality that dominance in modern air warfare is shaped by more than just advanced platforms. Operation Rising Lion showed that even the most fortified defenses can fall to preemptive stealth and precision. So is technology enough, or must strategy evolve alongside it? The events over Iran suggest that success depends on integrating new tools with adaptive planning and decisive leadership. As air superiority becomes more complex, the lessons from Israel's campaign may soon influence military thinking worldwide. If you found this deep dive into modern air superiority insightful, hit like and subscribe for more analyses on the cutting edge of military aviation.